Hi, Miss Moon. It's Auntie Mame. I love you, baby girl. Tonight we're going to read Mr. Seahorse. Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle, twist, this way and that. See them? It's time for me to lay my eggs, she said. Can I help? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Oh, yes, thank you, said Mrs. Seahorse, and she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly. I'll take good care of our eggs, said Mr. Seahorse. I promise. Aren't they cute, little seahorses? They swimming in the water, aren't they? As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. What is that? What is he passing by? It's a group of trumpet fish hidden in a patch of reeds. Look at the trumpet fish. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Stickleback? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Delighted, replied Mr. Stickleback. I just built a nest, and right away Mrs. Stickleback laid her eggs into it. Now I'm taking good care of them until they hatch. Keep up the good work, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. See? As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. What is it? What is he seeing? A lionfish hidden behind a coral reef. Look at the lionfish. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Tilapia? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer. His mouth was full of eggs. I know, said Mr. Seahorse. Mrs. Tilapia laid her eggs. Now you are taking good care of them until they hatch. Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. You must be very happy, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. Yay! As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. What is that? A pair of leaf fish hidden amongst seaweed. Look at the leaf fish. I think those are my favorites out of all the ones he's swum by so far. Your auntie loves blues and greens. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Curtis? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Perfectly fine, replied Mr. Curtis. Mrs. Curtis laid her eggs, and I have them stuck on my head. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. You're doing a good job, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. See, he has them on his head. Is that a la cabeza? Check with Papa. No, that one I think you check with Daddy. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. What is that? A stonefish hidden behind a rock. He blended in quite well with the rock, didn't he? But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Pipe? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Couldn't be better, replied Mr. Pipe. Mrs. Pipe laid her eggs along my belly. Now I'm taking good care of them until they hatch. You should feel proud of yourself, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. See Mr. Pipefish? But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Bullhead? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Tip-top, replied Mr. Bullhead. Mrs. Bullhead laid her eggs, and the eggs hatched. Now I'm babysitting. You are doing a fine job, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. The time had come for seahorse babies to be born. Mr. Seahorse wiggled and twisted this way and that, and at last the babies tumbled from Mr. Seahorse's pouch and swam away. One baby turned around and tried to come back into the pouch. "Oh no," said Mr. Seahorse. "I do love you, but now you are ready to be on your own." Look at how many little baby seahorses there are. They're so cute. And so, dear friends, in most fish families, after the mother has laid the eggs, they're left on their own. But there are exceptions such as the seahorse, the stickleback, tilapia, curtis, nursery fish, pipefish, bullhead, catfish, and some others. Not only are the eggs cared for by a parent, but surprise, that parent is the father. And this story is about them. You're a lucky little girl with two wonderful fathers. Yes, ma'am. My little Miss Moon Pie. I love you. But that's the end.